Hello, grammar champions. Welcome again. Time for another adventure with a practical grammar test. It is actually a practical grammar, but your job is to think in structural terms, so there is also a descriptive aspect to it. So you have got 4 possible answers, and your instruction is choose the best one. Choose the best one. I would avoid saying choose the correct one, because sometimes one may be the best, but there might be another one which could still be used in certain contexts, but usually it's the one we should choose. So have a look at the first question. He'd better do it now. And would you choose A, wouldn't he, B, didn't he, C, hadn't he, and D, won't he? And the mistakes we get, people often do, is like they say, wouldn't he? That's a mistake, because he'd better is short for he had better. So the correct answer would be hadn't he? He'd better do it now, hadn't he? And the second one, she told me that she was born in 1980, had been born in 1980, has been born or was to be born. Of course, answer D is excluded right away. And the correct answer, again, many would be tempted to say it's had been born, because she told me is a past tense, so it should be past perfect. It's not true. It's not true. When you are giving dates or years or even centuries, then you don't use the past perfect tense. You use the past simple tense and don't apply sequence of tenses. Here's the next one. It's been so sunny and dry for 2 months. I wish it rained down at last. Had rained down, has rained down, or would rain down. And like I said, it's a question of choosing the best answer. So if you choose A, rained, it's not necessarily incorrect, although the better option would be I wish it would rain down at last. Because I'm particularly wanting it to rain right now. It's high time it rained, so I wish it would rain down is the right answer. I wish it rained more often. So when you're talking about the generalities of the climate, I wish it rained more often here. But when you are referring to one particular summer, then and you are talking about this very time, you say, I wish it would rain down. So it is as though the weather had its all whims, like it would, like volition. And the next one, come on, you're my dad. Why don't you treat me like your son, as your son? And for your son and if your son, of course, these are crossed out immediately. So like your son or as your son. When you say like your son, that would mean that somebody isn't the man's son, but he wanted to be treated like a son, so on par with, on similar terms as the son. But it is biological father, so in this case you say, why don't you treat me as your son? Because he does mean it. I'm your son. B is the right answer. The box was too heavy for me to pick it up. Pick up it? Sounds bad. Pick up. Pick this up. And the reason why you don't want to choose answer A is that the subject, the box, is repeated as object, it, in the very same clause, in the very same sentence, and you're not allowed to do it. So you can say the box was so heavy that I couldn't pick it up. That would be good, but in this kind of sentence, where there is one clause, there is no subordinate clause, it's the box was too heavy for me to pick up. Answer C is the right answer, because you don't want to repeat the subject as the object in the same clause. How about this one? At the police station, the suspect was made give, to give, giving or forgiving. And then I've had students choose all the possible distractors here. You know that you make somebody do something. But when the sentence is changed into the passive voice, it becomes a full infinitive. So he was made to give testimony is the right answer. Answer B. And well, we have too much mineral water now. Yeah, so you bought so much, you bought too much, you bought and brought too much mineral water. And we have enough water. We bought enough yesterday, so your shopping was unnecessary. So would you choose A, needn't have bought or brought? Both. B, didn't have to bring. C, oughtn't to have brought, or D, didn't need to bring. And many people choose D, didn't need to bring, which actually is an option for American English. But in Europe and most of Asia, the answer is A, needn't have brought. You needn't have done something. It means that you did it, but it was not necessary. If you choose D, at least in British English, that would mean you didn't need to do it, and probably you didn't do it, because who would do it if they didn't have to do it? So the answer is A, needn't have brought. It's pretty late, I'd rather you had gone home, should go, went, or shall go. Well, this is a pretty straightforward example, because after I'd rather plus person, I'd rather you, I'd rather we, I'd rather they, you use past tense, past simple. So I'd rather you went home. I'd rather you didn't stay any longer. So C is the right answer. And the next one, this is a sort of playing with fire, but except that it's ice. The ice looked dangerously thin, and I was afraid to skate, of skating, skating for skating. And many people automatically say of skating because they see was afraid of doing something. Well, you use afraid of doing something, of skating, when you refer to a general characteristic of a person. She's afraid of spiders, she's afraid of speaking in public, right? But when you are referring to one particular situation, then you choose infinitive. I was afraid to skate. I was afraid to skate there is the right answer. A is the right answer. He's already 35. It's high time he would get married, gets married, had gotten married, or got married. And the very straightforward rule is that when you make an impersonal structure, it's high time to get married. Or even personal, it's high time for him to, but you don't have for him. It's high time he, and you are supposed to use past tense, past simple tense. It's high time he got. Answer D is the right answer. And that's all for today. I hope you have had some sort of fun, and until the next time, bye bye.